Bosley. Bosley, how are you? If I mispronounce your name, charge it to my head and not my heart. Hey, Maurice, how are you? Hey, Nalo. Good afternoon. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the day shift. My God, on today. Hey, Smitty. Hey, Raymond. How are you? Come on in this room. Let some other people know that we're here. I'm Paulette. If you are new here, welcome to the neighborhood. Welcome to the neighborhood. If you are not new here, welcome back to the neighborhood. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. Let me stop. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started with some news and information that you can use. And we're going to start slowly getting me back into the swing of things, of giving you news and information and kind of stuff like that there, only because I've been so busy getting ready for next year and all that other stuff. So we are just kind of going to be doing like a, what's been happening, what's going on, what's happening in the Brownstone. I'm sure that you guys have seen all kinds of news and information that has been floating around. And I thought, you know what? It's been a while. Let me come on back in the room. Come on in the room. Hey, Ruth, how are you? Hey, Nana, how are you? Come on in. We're going to talk and set a spell for a little bit. Let me tell you what we're going to be talking about today. Number one, what we're going to be talking about. Welcome to those of you all who just joined on all of the other platforms. What we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about what's happening at the Pentagon. Hey there. Good to see you, Ruth. What else is going on? We're also going to be talking about what's happening in the Brownstone. Let's talk about that and where I've been. We're also going to be talking about TikTok because today is the last day. And so we don't know what's going to happen because by all accounts, if today is the last day, then that absolutely means that today is the last day. So we need to find out what's going to happen before the end of today in terms of TikTok. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and move along because I have officially given myself 30 minutes. Let's see if I can do this in 30 minutes so I can go back and do some other things that are Brownstone related. So, all right, let's jump right into it and let's talk about the big monster in the room. Hey, Carla, how are you? Hey, Angie, girl, come on in this room. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome back to the neighborhood. Y'all, it's been a while. So let's talk about the quiet thing in the room. Girl, where you been? Working. That's what I've been doing. I have been building out pieces of the Brownstone that were necessary. Head down, trying to get a lot of stuff done, building out my team, trying to focus and trying to figure out how in the world I was going to continue to make lives a part of what I was doing. And so I said, you know what, let me just fall back for a little bit and kind of focus on a couple of things until it makes sense. And then I said, when it did, I would provide myself with time, because y'all know how we do. If you're not new here, you know, when we go live, and it's usually hours. It's usually 1 hour, then 1 hour turns into 2. And one night I went live one time. I know we were on here for 4 hours. And I thought, I can't keep doing that. I have to take better care of my time because I run a business and it was getting good. Hey, Blue. Hi, Diane. How are you? Welcome. So I thought, okay, so if I'm going to do this again, I have to be more responsible in how I handle my time. And then the other thing is I have to make sure that whatever we discuss, it is 2 to 3 topics. And then I come back in the evening for another one that'll be 45 minutes as opposed to the 30 minutes that we're going to do today. So I said, okay, so that's my story and I'm sticking to it. It's important. It is important. Well, yes and no. So let's talk about this, Rob. My dad and my family is from Arkansas. And big shout out to all of the family members at UAPB. And my great grandfather is it? I don't know which one of it, but my maternal great grandfather was great grandfather was the founder of the Freedmen's College, which became UAPB. So I have tons of family in Arkansas, but oh, absolutely, I have lived there for 13 years. I sure did, Rob. Are you there now, sir? And see, this is how it starts. We start talking about different stuff, and 20 minutes turns into 30, turns into 45, turns into an hour. So yes, and actually that's where I got it from. It's so old. Wait a minute. I won't even throw it away. Look at it. It's done for. Little Rock. Okay. Yeah. Lived in Hot Springs. Man, listen, I talk about Hot Springs a lot. And I miss it. I've actually considered purchasing a home there. Because it's so beautiful there. But anyway, all right. So, and then my family's originally from Louisiana. Yeah, Hot Springs is it, Jack. It. All right, so let's get into it. So if you're new here, first of all, welcome to the neighborhood. Second of all, thank you for the gifts and all the cool things. Second of all, know that, yeah, man. So listen, let's talk about Hot Springs Village. I actually went house hunting. Before I moved back to Georgia, I actually went house hunting in Hot Springs Village before I moved out here, because I was like, oh, if I'm going to live in Arkansas, I'm going to live in Arkansas. So, but yeah, that was one of my spots. We would go there every weekend. I got an opportunity. My sister lived there for years, and she passed away 2 years ago. She was a nurse at the hospital there, and Hot Springs was the spot. The spot. Listen, telling you, people sleep on Hot Springs, Arkansas. All right, so Brownstone Worldwide. Let's talk about it really quick. So first of all, let me thank each and every one of you guys for being a part of the Brownstone. If you're new here, I am the owner and founder of Brownstone Worldwide, which houses brownstoneworldwide.com, which is news and information. And then you also have Cityscape Radio, which is our app. And then you also have Brownstone Living Magazine. Okay, I'm on the cover this month. Okay, hey, Sugar Mama, how are you? Good to see you. And this is our 3rd anniversary for the magazine, but Brownstone Worldwide's been around for 9 years. And we've seen an exponential jump. Hey there, Cheryl, how are you? Cheryl said, SR Brillinger, y'all know her as SR. Hey, Miss T, how are you? She's on YouTube right now, and she says, hey, neighbors, I know, so I'm officially back. And I was giving my explanation, my why. My why was this had to make sense, right? And so while I was out, here's some business information that we need to talk about really quick before we jump into the news. Is this. Number one, it had to make sense. Number two, it had to fit in with things that I had going on with the Brownstone, right? So during the downtime, when I made a decision to fall back from going live, was I said I had to be honest with myself from a business perspective and say, okay, why am I doing this every single day? Well, y'all showed me why. Okay, the numbers proved why I was going live. And I hadn't really been kind of paying attention, and it was wearing me out, y'all. We were going live 2 hours every time I would go live. And I had to say, okay, now I got to figure out how not to go live for 2 to 3 hours every time we would go live. And I was doing it twice a day, you know? And I said, okay, I got to do something different. So business perspective is this. Number one, how do I monetize the time that I have here outside of the business? Because it was taking away from the business. That's a truth moment. Hey, Ruth, how are you? If I haven't already, say hello. Charge it to my head, not my heart. If I did, I'm saying hello again. So I said, how can I make this work where I'm not taking away from the business, but still being able to serve the people in the neighborhood? How am I going to be able to do that and be comfortable in doing that? So I said, let me just focus on just sharing the news and information right now while we focus on what's happening behind the scenes. And then some stuff started happening. Number one, we started running consistent reports. I do run reports every Monday, but I started running them every day. And something had happened since I have been going live. Number one, the amount of people. Hey, Kanika, how are you? Good to see you. The numbers on brownstoneworldwide.com jumped. We officially are at 19,000 to 23,000 views per day. Per day. That had never happened. Number two, the magazine subscribers increased. It went up like 43%, something like that. Unheard of. Number three. Did I say number three? Okay, number three, Cityscape Radio. We pulled it down and put the app back up. And it's getting ready to start running live video. The OBS system is being connected this week. We tested it out to see how it would do, right? And you guys have been paying attention this whole time. And then lastly, a couple of huge things happened. Number one, I wasn't paying attention. So we send out emails, newsletters, and I had pulled back from doing all of that because I wanted to see what was working and what wasn't. And in business, you kind of have to do that and say, okay, am I wasting time over here? Am I wasting time over here? What is generating revenue for the business? Because y'all, I got to pay people. I tell y'all that all the time. So it's not a lot to some people, but it's a lot to me as a business owner. Brownstone Worldwide ended up with 620 new subscribers to the website enough. Hey, Spin the Talk, how are you? It's my first day back. That's why. And I thought, whoa, holy cow. Thank you for that, Cheryl. I appreciate it. And I thought, okay. And this was 2 days ago. I ran those reports. It's been a minute. Yes, it has. I'm talking about it now, actually, B-Dog. I'm talking about where I've been, what we've been up to. And it's been about validating and verifying information. Because see, let me keep it 100 with you guys, for those who care. It had to make fiscal sense to continue to keep going live as much as I was. And I enjoy going live, but I had to make it make sense. That was number one. And so that in and of itself was why I pulled back. I said, it's got to make sense. But in the time that I was gone from doing the lives, you guys saw that I was still posting. I was still sharing. We increased our numbers on YouTube to the point where, drum roll, we are 100% monetized on YouTube. I wasn't even expecting that, but it happened. It literally happened. And it had happened 2 weeks prior to me even noticing it, because I just was so used to us not and that's huge. Thank you, Eminem. I appreciate it. That was huge for us. And so we had to sit up and say, okay, so now, and here's something else. I have a studio. Brownstone Worldwide officially has a studio that we utilize for photo shoots and for podcasts for influencers and UGC creators. And it's called Stoop House Studios. Get it, Stoop? And it's just the start, right? We are officially getting ready to drop another publication in April of 2026. So we've been busy. I've been busy. And I officially have employees. I have contractors that work for us, photographers, editors, videographers, writers, and we've been busy. We've been busy, and this was what I was working towards. And then I thought, now let me circle back and let's see how I can continue to serve the people in the neighborhood, because it is important for us to still have that place to go where we can sit down at the table, take our little lunch break, take our evening breaks or whatever, and continue to find out what's happening out there. And y'all, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I missed it. I miss talking to you guys every day. Like sometimes I'll be like, I'm just gonna go live and I'm not gonna say hi to anybody. Oh my God, today. That's how it would be, And so that was the reason why we had to make it make sense. And as someone who's in business, you have to look at what my mentor Lamar Tyler says is money generating activities. What are you doing every day to generate the revenue? How are you taking care of your current clients? How are you continuing to plan and to prepare for what's coming? Because if not, then I just got a very expensive hobby. Thank you for that, Eminem. I appreciate it. It's not been easy. I won't lie. I'm tired. And I had to figure out, when do I go to bed? When do I get up in the morning? When do I have time for the family? And how does all of this work together for because in 2026, it's got to be different. And see, those are the things that people aren't going to talk to you about, right? When it comes to building a business. And, and then there was something else that I was kind of over, truth moment. I was over the rushing to be the first to give you the news. Over it. I wanted to give you facts. I wanted to do the research. I wanted to do more journalistic research and provide that to you. And I've done it. There's some content that has not made it over to TikTok, but is over on YouTube on purpose because it was just too long. And I wanted you all to get the fullness of it. There's one called The Authoritarian Stack. If I were you, I'd absolutely go check it out. Because, honey, if it came over here on TikTok, it would wear you out. It's on my Facebook page. It's on YouTube. Again, The Authoritarian Stack. Please definitely check it out. It's 30 full minutes. The Rivalry Report. We've got podcasters who are returning back in 2026 for their new seasons. New writers. And like Brownstone Living Magazine, we already know who's on the cover all the way up until July. So I've been moving and building relationships here physically because there's some huge things that I definitely want to do and be a part of when it comes to media next year. And the biggest reason why, and many of you know this, is because media is good for us. Real media. Thank you for that, Kanika. No, that's okay. It's been the talk. I'm glad that you've been well. And I appreciate you all. First of all, big shout out to those of you all who sent me messages of things that were happening. I couldn't keep up. I don't even know if Carol Sue is here. But Carol Sue, Angie T, I know you sent me some things every once in a while. Cheryl sent me things. All of you guys have been sending me things. Just, hey, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. You check this out, blah, 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 and that is how, very cute. That was how I found out about what was happening with some of the journalistic pieces that I ended up doing, but it had to make sense. Why am I going live? Am I just going live just to be going live because I like it? So here's a truth moment. So what I did was I decided that if I was going to start going live again, it had to make sense to me, and it had to make sense to the Brownstone overall from a fiscal perspective. So there will be some changes, and they're not massive changes. I won't be going live as long. There will be other ways to connect with the Brownstone, and I have to monetize it, like for real. I have to monetize my time here, and so being a part of the Creator Rewards program is one. But I'm gonna tell y'all now, this is officially a channel. And just expect it to flow like one. I'm working on that now. Like, you're gonna get the news, you're gonna get the information. You're gonna get a TikTok shop spot. So it's gonna be programming, commercial, right? So you'll start to see that, right? Because it has to make sense. In order for me to continue to build and to do what I need to do, everything that I do has to be generating revenue. And it is important for me to be honest and keep it real. And then still come here and have fun, but be honest with myself and say, okay, in order for this to work, I have to follow specific rules that I set for myself, or I need to stop again until I get it together. So it was almost like I was putting myself on punishment just a little bit. So let's jump into the news and information, because I don't want to spend a lot more time on that, but just start expecting to see that a little bit more. All right. Now, a couple things. One, we know today is the last day of the executive order for TikTok to be active. Now, what is it that we can expect? A couple of things. Number one, we can probably expect the current administration to potentially sign another executive order to keep the app running. Okay, because today, so let's go back and do a little bit of history. Let's see. The original deadline. Now there have been 5. Hey there. How you doing, Kim? Good to see you. So let's talk briefly about what's happening with the TikTok ban. So TikTok's US operations remain in limbo. We do know that. I knew it as soon. Let me tell y'all something. As soon as I go live, I have not been live, and I don't know how long. It's been over a month and a half. Every time I go live, my daughter calls. Every time she just called. So what? I don't get it. She must see me and go, "Ooh, let me call." I don't know. All right. So a law passed by Congress would force TikTok off of U.S. app stores and offline nationwide unless its China-based owner, ByteDance, and it's crazy, divest the app. They know, right, Eminem? Now that deadline originally was January 19, 2025, but they keep extending it. They've extended it 5 times already, folks, right? So no ban has officially taken effect. Political and legal maneuvering is actually continuing, with the Trump administration weighing whether to grant yet another extension or let the law take effect. Critics argue that this ongoing delay creates prolonged uncertainty for us, the users, advertisers, and U.S. tech policy. Meanwhile, TikTok is reorganizing internally. Now, the company has restructured its global e-commerce and data teams, and I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but I've noticed it. See, that's another thing too. Why I'm spending a lot more time on the other platforms is because the level of uncertainty is a lot. You know what I mean? And I don't know about anyone else, but a couple of things that I say often here as a person who goes live and who is officially considered a content creator, with being monetized on several of the platforms, is this: these are not my platforms. Your girl Paulette, I'm rarely on there. You can find me on Facebook. I spend a lot of time there and a lot of time on YouTube under my name, and you'll see a picture of me, Paulette, and my middle name is Yvette. All right. So one of the things that I always say often, no matter what platform you're on, you don't own them, folks. But you know what I do own? Brownstone. I own that magazine. I own that website. I own my own app. So the goal has always been to introduce listeners, viewers, readers, subscribers from these specific platforms, introduce you to the Brownstone, and you make a decision whether you want to come and hang out with us over there and still read and listen in and do all the things, or remain here. But either way, I would be wherever the audience was, because truth is advertising is expensive and the algorithm is constantly changing. And I got tired of spending money and not seeing a return. So I was like, I got to start doing something different. And that's how I started going live a lot more, right? So that was the biggest reason why I did what I did, because I was like, okay, I got to find my people. So that was number one. Number two, the other thing was I say it often, these are not your platforms. So I cannot for the life of me fathom in my brain how people are building full-time incomes and not moving their resources around to find other ways of generating revenue. And there are people, you did, awesome, good. You'll see more of my family over there too if you're on Facebook. But yeah, so I'm saying all of that to say there's nothing wrong with building a business and utilizing these platforms to get you started, but do not make it your main stream of income and your source of income, right? That would be an absolute no. And so I had to make a decision. So that's how I ended up focusing more there. So when it comes to TikTok, though, I think my biggest concern is what happens to all of the people. We're talking about an app that makes people millions of dollars. There are companies that are on here that sell their products, their services, their wares, their digital, whatever, utilizing just TikTok. They come on this app every single day and they turn this sucker on and go live and generate revenue. Here's the truth. When you guys send people gifts, you all know that you're giving them a monetary gift, right? And then TikTok takes their percent, which they stop taking so much. And then every Tuesday, people that get gifts, it's sent to their PayPal account. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you I've ever gotten huge amounts, but I know some people that was breaking in $300-400, maybe thousands of dollars a week. So let's talk about the multiple ways that you can generate revenue on TikTok. This is not a sales platform at this point. I'm just talking about, here we go again, Anna. What I miss, y'all? You see, you can't. Oh, you did. Yeah. You forgot about the band. Yeah, no, that's why I'm bringing it up. That's why I think it's important for us to talk about it. So let's talk about the different ways that you can generate revenue here. Honey, we're going to be here for about another 45 minutes, Sugar Mama, but I'm here. All right. So one, when you go live and you guys send gifts, we get that. Once a week, every Tuesday, the person who is the creator, me, gets those resources sent to us via PayPal every Tuesday. That's one way you generate revenue. The other is also the Creator Rewards Program. Creators who are in that program and who follow the rules, it's not hard to do. Literally, you get paid on the 15th. So we just got paid yesterday. Okay. And then the other way that you can generate revenue, of course, is when you're going live and you're selling a product, a service, or whatever. I know a lot of people who have come on here, honey, and they selling digital products. They're selling services, manifestation courses. They're selling songs, whatever they want to generate. They're generating money that way. People are on here, honey, and they press the t-shirts live for you and packing them up. It's a TikTok gold rush, ultimately, is what it is. And if you're on TikTok Shop, so let's talk about that. So if you're on TikTok Shop, you can sell. I have a TikTok Shop. I'm not just an affiliate. I have a shop. And I shut that sucker down because I was making more money as an affiliate when I first started doing it. And then I had to fall back and say, now, are you going to run the brownstone, or are you going to... Oh, Blue Eye says singing Paulette. So, or are you going to focus on the brownstone, or are you going to sell other people's stuff? So I had to make a decision. But the TikTok affiliate program, baby, is hot. So when y'all start seeing me talking about, oh, look at this beautiful phone, blah, 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 don't be surprised, because I'm going to go back to it. And yes, I'll still be going live and doing the things, right? But that's how people are generating revenue on here. So many different ways, right? And then you meet up with other people who teach you how to do different things, and you take courses with them, and then you learn about other ways of generating revenue. It is absolutely, to your point, a TikTok gold rush. So again, remember what I just said earlier. I'm going to say it again. I'm giving you a heads up. These are officially extensions of Brownstone Worldwide. These are what I like to call channels. You are going to notice that I'm going to provide you with news and information, but not only that, I will be providing you with news and information, content, posts, images, texts, all the things. Why? Because I also did research as well and found out what works and what doesn't. Because again, if it's not making fiscal sense, then I need to fall back, right? And focus on what does for the business. Okay. But again, let's go back to TikTok, because that's what we're talking about. If this goes away, because now we're talking about a platform that's literally giving people a new way of life. Have you all gone down the rabbit hole on the lives that have been changed because of TikTok? You ever sat back and thought about that? Like, seriously, how many lives have been changed because of TikTok? Have we ever just sat back and looked at it? I have, honey, sometimes I go down the rabbit hole and I'm trying to scoot over my other screen because I'm live on YouTube and Facebook and stuff at the same time. Okay, so I went down the rabbit hole this morning, and I have seen people literally who are purchasing brand new homes, brand new cars. They're able to get themselves out of debt. There's a sister that I watched her do her first live, and she started doing her lives. Yes, ma'am.
Because the one she gave me up in this thing.
It'll be in her room. I don't know exactly where. Yeah. And I'm live.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on, y'all.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Sorry.
All right. So when you talk about how much people are making on this platform, it is astronomical. Again, like I was saying, people are getting themselves out of debt. There was a sister that I literally watched her do her very first live, and she was like, I've got to get out of debt. It was like 17 grand or something like that she had to get out of debt. And she was like, I'm going to do this TikTok shop thing, affiliate thing, like 100%. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in. I'm going to make it work for myself. And honey, she has an entire agency. That's how much money she's made. And she's helping other people do it besides. Not only that, but think about the people that you have met that you would not have ever met. Hey, Alan, how are you? Think about the people that you would not have met had it not been for TikTok. Think about that. Think about it. Good to see you, sir. So when we're talking about this, we also have to look at the fact is if this sucker goes dark, the amount of people who literally are going to lose their entire livelihood because a group of folks got upset because people were making money on here and went and created an entire narrative on what they wanted these politicians to believe. And it was all about the money from the beginning. Because if we really sit back and look, now I'm going down a rabbit hole, but let's go here. If we really want to sit back and look at how serious they weren't serious. They slid this bill, this law, into another bill. Y'all remember that? Because they couldn't get their cut. And every time I sit back and I think about that, it infuriates me. The amount of people who were getting ready to lose everything when the lights went out. But nobody wants to have that conversation about how they had this young man come all the way from TikTok, from ByteDance, and say American data is already in the States. It's on Oracle servers in Texas. What are you saying? It's always been that way. And so you have all of these folks who are literally sitting around making decisions on how regular folks like me and you are making our money. And I just refused. At one point, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Here's something else. Since the lights went down and came back up, anybody notice how the US of A is sequestered from the rest of global TikTok? Aaron Parnas, I rarely see him unless, of course, I go look for him. Midas Touch, same thing. Hawkeye, same thing. Some of you guys I can't even see anymore because of the control. It's all about the control, Anna, right? I don't see any of the people that I used to like follow who are from the New Zealand. I don't see any of them anymore. Unless, of course, I turn my VPN on. Yep, Kip. So it's not just me. Yep, they suppressed us for sure. So if I turn on my VPN, I see people that I don't see normally. And it infuriates me because we stopped talking about the UFOs. We stopped talking about specific pieces of news. And if it was being talked about, it was certain things that you just couldn't say anymore, or else your content would be suppressed. I know my content is being suppressed. I absolutely know it. I go from 2.1 million views, a couple 100,000 views, down to 140, and I'm reporting on the same news every day on TikTok. I can go over to Facebook, and those numbers, it's a different ball game. I can go to YouTube, it's a different ball game. So, but it feels unconstitutional. But they have, they have, and unfortunately, it's really sad because I've definitely noticed it as well. Now this dude is getting ready to. He wants to sue the BBC for $10 billion. I need this to make sense. The entire thing is unconstitutional. So you want to hold us back from seeing or talking to other people from around the world. Y'all remember when this mess first happened, and we could see people from China and people were talking about Red Note, and then they were coming over here and talking about, things that were different, or how they would say things like Americans think they're free. They're not, and they would share things that they did, or how, safe it was in their country and so forth, and and all that is gone. I don't see it anymore since this crap happened. So, and then the hard part is what we do know is that these potential buyers, it's all about the money. Absolutely, Eminem. Right. I don't see Christina Talks Tea anymore, hardly. She's there. I hardly see Hawkeye. I literally have to go and tap on their name. Yep. And people tell me all the time, I hardly ever see you anymore. Yeah. But what we've done, what a lot of us have done is we've migrated over to Facebook or Meta. I use Threads a lot. I use YouTube. Yep. I'm on YouTube as well under Brownstone Worldwide. Mm-hmm. Because the level of uncertainty is, you know what I mean? And so people say, well, how do you generate revenue? Well, my business isn't relegated to just social media, right? It's one of our revenue streams. We have advertisers, we have subscribers, we have sponsors. That's how we generate our revenue. And we also do a lot of UGC work. So it's Ruby with Ruby's Colorful. Now I follow you on this page. Hey there, Lyrics with Peace in Mind. Welcome to the neighborhood. Thank you for joining us. So I'm bringing all this up because there are several different ways of generating the revenue. It looks like I've passed my classes and will be done with my master. Come on, honey. Alan. Y'all, Alan, listen. Alan's getting ready to get that master's. Congratulations. So when we're looking at how do I make this work for me? How do I do this? How do I do that? A couple things y'all need to know. Number one, them shutting down TikTok is highly unlikely at this point. You'll be graduating in May. You need to keep us posted, honey. Let us know where you're graduating from so we can give you a shout out. I can give you a shout out in the magazine. So Cheryl over on YouTube says, congratulations. See, isn't this wonderful? Alan said, Johns Hopkins, you better come through. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love to see people doing fabulous things. Anna says, hell yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. So there you go. Now, Facebook monetization is a little bit different. He says, thank you. Facebook monetization is a little bit different. You can generate revenue or monetize yourself on stories, text, images, your content creation, just like on TikTok. And then of course, they have Facebook Marketplace, very much eBay-ish, but then you can do the local thing as well, right? So there are different ways of generating revenue. And Facebook has just started a new thing where you can literally share affiliate links. And they encourage you to do it. Like I'm looking at my reports, see how I do every day, right? See if it's, worth me to spend some time on here, which it is. And it'll tell you what to focus on for the day based upon your numbers. And one of mine was, you need to be sharing more of your affiliate links. I was like, what? You're telling me to do it? Yes, we're telling you to do it. And here's how you do it. So, and then YouTube is a very close third, very, very close third, in terms of that. So, that's really good. Really, really good. I know YouTube, you can, share your store. Oh, and Facebook also has a store. So you put your store in there and all that. So do I see Facebook doing like the Shop Live thing? Because I know that you can still connect the other apps and stuff and do it. Yes, I do see them eventually doing it. Will it be anything like TikTok Shop? Probably not. Probably not. That's a new model. So again, when we're talking about these folks trying to do something about TikTok, it's still disgusting to me what happened, because politics got involved where politics shouldn't have gotten involved because of one person's desire to own all of social media in the US. And I was highly disappointed in that. So here we go. The company's restructured its global e-commerce and data teams on the inside, aiming to boost AI and shopping performance in the US amid political and economic pressures. Opinion and legal scholars warn the Supreme Court's earlier upholding of the TikTok ban law broadens government authority over platform speech and raises First Amendment concerns. It absolutely does. We just sat here and talked about it. So here's a couple of key milestones. U.S. military and U.S. military branches and federal agencies, they started banning TikTok from government devices over data security worries. I want to cuss so bad right now. Then from 2023 to 2024, Congress passed the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. A bunch of bullshit. In April of 2024, aimed squarely at TikTok and similar apps owned by foreign adversaries. So under the law, apps like TikTok must be sold to non-Chinese owners or face a nationwide ban. It was always about the money. What is one of the things I say often? Follow the money. So in early 2025, Supreme Court upholds the law, and the Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of the TikTok ban under national security grounds, clearing the way for enforcement. And then y'all remember, because I was here when it happened, just like a bunch of you guys, in January, TikTok briefly went offline in January after failing to divest by the original deadline. However, on the first day of the Trump administration, January 20th, an executive order paused enforcement while negotiations continued, and further extensions followed in April, in June, September, and now December 16th of 2025 is the last day, which is today. Now, deal talks and uncertainty are in the air, and the administration has publicly signaled a potential deal to allow TikTok to continue operating under U.S. ownership or control. But negotiations and ownership structures remain vague and unresolved, because China's like, we ain't came to no deal. What, y'all know something we don't know? Of course, I'm paraphrasing. I have to make it, just saying. But here's what the supporters of the ban, they argue that TikTok's Chinese ownership poses a national security. Hey, Deals with Nia, how are you? Good to see you. So it supposedly poses national security risk. We're talking about a country who has gone into entire communities and neighborhoods and impacted national security on a local level. But we worried about an app. To you as well, happy Tuesday. Yep. But we worried about that, while the security of people that live in our communities and work in our stores and on our farms and who own businesses and who have diligently done everything that they can to become U.S. citizens. Right. And like, be so for real. I need all of this to make sense, and it doesn't. None of this makes sense to me. Oh, excuse me. And Cheryl, you know what? You're right. Thank you for that. Substack. I'm on Substack as well under the Brownstone. And I've seen an increase in numbers there. And paying subscribers. I was surprised. I was like, wait a minute. And it's just a slow trickle, but it's starting to pick up. Just like YouTube was a slow trickle, and it's starting to pick up, right? And so I cannot, the reason why I'm talking about this and going off on tangents, because I cannot, for the life of me, for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, I cannot sit around on a platform I do not own with nowhere for the people in the neighborhood to go. That's a no for me. You need to have somewhere to stay connected with your people. If you're in business, remember this. Yes, we can do things, and we can be, have TikTok Shop affiliate, and we can do all of these different programs and generate revenue, because I promise you, this is the new economy, and we need to get with it. If you're not with it, you got a problem. You have to figure out a way to get people to where you are. And that doesn't mean that you can't use these platforms for what they're used for. People get up and literally have made, again, entire new lives for themselves. I watched a sister. Thank you so much for that, KB. Like I said, I watched that sister, and she came on and she was in tears, and she was like, I did it. This is what I made. Couldn't believe it. I was like, that is so cool. So again, be prepared. I need you to go on ahead and get ready, because there's going to be content, commercial, content, commercial, right? I promise you, I'm going to start doing that. But you never want to get to a point where a group of people in a room that don't know you, don't know your financial situation or anything that you voted in, because they're there, so they were voted in, have made a decision on whether or not your family gets to eat. Because you've put all of this time and energy over here with this particular platform. But let's talk about that just briefly, because we need to talk about something that Gary Vee has been very, very clear on, and what's happening right now with the economics of generating revenue online. You know what, DJ C. Brown? I'm not sure. That's a really good question. So DJ C. Brown asked the question, y'all. He asked, isn't AI going to drown out this social media market? I don't think so. What I know is, from doing the research and from reading up on some of the things that get sent to me and so forth, is that ultimately, at the end of the day, what is happening is that it's becoming a part of our lives, right? It's become a part of who we are. And just like AI is becoming a part of who we are, like it might help us write better sentences. I see people making money. They claim they're making money. I ain't seen it, but they claim that they're making money with these faceless social media accounts by creating, these like twins. They call them their twins, or their AI twin or whatever. And these twins are talking for them and so forth. And it does make it convenient, like it makes life easier. It helps you to do specific things that you couldn't do before, like maybe automate some things that you couldn't. I get it, but how that's going to replace the human in us, I don't see it yet. But what Gary Vee talked about, which I thought was most interesting, I'm going to try to find the article that I read it up on, was this thing called selling economics. And he talked about the live feature. Now, he's been talking about going live for a long time. I've been following Gary Vee since Gary Vee was just selling wine. And I remember one of the things that he talked about often when y'all remember Meerkat, you remember Periscope, you remember when going live was all the rage. Y'all, I started going live on Periscope. Yes. Myself and some other people really, really did the thing and made it work for ourselves. But some people were so good at it. You remember Periscope, Alan? And so a beautiful sister by the name of Nicole Walters had a show called The Scoper Show. And I was on there doing a very similar show to this called The Day Shift. And I would come on and we would just do news and information while I was in the studio at the radio station and so forth, right? I didn't think much of it. And honey, this girl quit her job on Periscope Live because she was getting ready to make this work for her. And she became a millionaire, literally. Like, she ended up with a reality show. She ended up with a course called 1K One Day. She ended up with another something else, but I know now that she moved to Atlanta, adopted 3 girls. Blab, I remember Blab as well. There were so many, but now we're morphing again, folks. Check this out. Do you remember when TikTok was more about, wasn't it called Musical.ly at one point or something? But it was about dancing. It was about the teenagers. It was all the things. And then all of a sudden there was a shift. Well, guess what? The shift is shifting again. And here's what I am learning, especially working on the influencer UGC side. I want you all to pay attention to this. What I have noticed, and then in some of the research and articles that I'm sent, there is going to be more live selling. Everybody's going to be able to do like their own little personal QVC, right? Okay. And we know that to be true because there are apps out there that allow you to do that outside of TikTok Shop. You got eBay now has a live feature. I don't know if a lot of you guys know that. You know that Whatnot is out there. There's so many different platforms that are out there that allow you to literally create your entire selling experience for your guests, your customers, your clientele. And you can go there and you can do what a QVC has been doing for decades, right? And there's something else that is coming along the way. And I noticed it the other week. And someone sent me a message and said, "Oh my God, I just love your channel." And I thought, what? You love my channel? And then it hit me. You know what hit me? It was the fact that I literally had never heard anybody else call my stuff a channel. I was like, So if it's a channel, then I should treat it as such, right? And a light bulb went off. That's what's currently happening right now. And it's called microcasting. Hey, Devon, how are you? It's called microcasting. I didn't even know it was a thing at all. But it's a thing. It's called microcasting. And I thought about it and I kept thinking about it. And I said, wow, that's what's happening. So I want you guys to start paying attention to some of these favorite people that you like to hang out with and just kind of do things with when you're quote unquote online and you're hanging out with them. They've literally created a niche for themselves, right? So like, for instance, you know, when you come to my page, a couple of things you're going to notice. I'm going to do the news, but I do it differently. I may or may not give you breaking news, but I'm going to give you the news. I'm also going to give you journalistic commentary that I've researched and I've dug through. Then I'm going to also tell you, I'm going to give you a call to action. What's the call to action? For more news and information that you can always use, head over to brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio. You see what I mean? And the reason why is, number one, this is not my platform. I don't own this. If those suckers decide tonight that they're done with all of this in its entirety, and they turn the lights off, at least you'll know where to find me, right? I'm saying that for each one of you as a whole, right? If you are just on Facebook or YouTube or TikTok, find your space and figure out how to get your people to hang out with you there. Cheryl on YouTube says, here's a word I've learned recently, microdrama for short videos or movies. Yes, a lot of people are doing it. And guess who else is doing it? Companies. Companies have decided that they're going to get in the game too. Apple, Adidas, Coca-Cola. They're all creating their own what? Channels. Everybody's doing it. And if you have the creative capability, if you're not afraid to get on the screen and talk to people and hang out and XYZ, then of course, then you could definitely make this work for yourself. But the one thing that you can't be is nervous or scared. Then this ain't the space for you. But Gary Vee was the one that kind of helped me to see early on where things were headed. And I started paying attention. I said, oh, I see what's up. I see what's going on. So even in the midst of all of this, what you're learning, like Jolly Good Ginger, he doesn't even post on TikTok anymore at all. He said, I'm done with this. And for a minute I said, well, maybe I'll consider it. Nope. I'll stay here until the lights go off. Because I'll tell you what, everything that's hot doesn't stay hot. It gets lukewarm after a while. And so when that does happen, you just have to figure out where the next best thing is going to be and where you will be. Everybody has to learn how to pivot. So just be prepared for that, because I think people got comfortable. And also we're being inundated with so much that's happening with this current administration. I'm like, what in the world wait. And then I thought, oh, snap. And I said, let me look up this information real quick before I go live. Let's talk about it really quick. And let's dig into it briefly and discuss it to see what you need to know. Number one, no deal is in place. No deal has been made. But we do know some of the key players at one point were all of Trump's homeboys. I had a problem with that. Number one, I have had a problem with this entire thing since day one. Since I discovered that boy went to these folks in Congress and said there's a trust issue, when in reality, your own employee said you were the problem. It was you selling our information. It was you the whole time. But you don't see anybody running to Congress and to all this. See, and then this brings me back to this. And I'm money to be made with channels. Absolutely it is. So I'm gonna get back to that in just a minute. But I say all of that. He was the one, and it's disgusting that all of this has impacted. If I was him, I don't know how he sleep at night. It's all about the money. I don't know how he sleep at night. The very thought that you're sitting here and you've made a decision about how people are going to generate their revenue because you can't keep up. So you decide to do you know what happens when you dig a hole for somebody like that? It comes back to bite you. It comes back to bite you eventually. So because of that, I think my biggest concern at the end of the day, because there are so many people who don't have anywhere else to go, whose sole source of income. I watch a woman and they fall in a hole. Exactly. Because you get it. Somebody did just say they be using, but they don't get in trouble for it. I don't think I understood that, Devon. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I think the thing is that there's a woman. So let me get back to this woman. So she's live. She goes live, and sometimes she'll tell you how she makes as much money as she does on TikTok, right? So I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this because it's 3:00 in the morning. I'm up anyway. because 50-year-old bladders don't know what time of day it is, and then I'm up. And so this chick literally got an entire apartment just to do her TikTok videos. I don't even remember the girl's name. And I thought, what? Yes, honey, nighttime TikTok got me in a whole world of trouble. Literally, she has an entire apartment outside of the house that she bought with her TikTok earnings. And then, of course, I ended up down the rabbit hole, and I thought, oh, yeah. See, ooh, Devon. You outside of you've created an entire world. Yes, Anna, using TikTok funds. This is literally an app that generates billions, and it actually supports the economy. It supports the economy. Make this make sense that it's getting ready to go dark because y'all haven't come up with a deal. I don't understand. I don't know. I can't find the top to my cup. Make it make sense. It doesn't. It's mind-blowing. So it's still operating. Now, whether it stays that way, it actually depends on political decisions. Y'all remember this, okay? When y'all at the polls, especially for those of you who generate revenue using these platforms, I need you to pay attention who's making decisions for whether or not your family gets to continue to do this or whether or not they need to go and get in a suit line. And I think about it. If it goes dark, you can't make your money. If it goes dark, those products that you've recorded and pre-recorded and taken time and batched all of this stuff to load and do all the things, it'll be gone just like that. And Michael, you're probably right. The deal won't happen because they haven't figured out how to monopolize it, so they make the most. And that's horrifying. You got to put it somewhere else. TikTok Shop, where is it going to go? Truth is TikTok Shop is a bunch of Amazon product. I just let that slip out. But y'all know that. Today is the deadline, Jan. Yes. Yes, it is. So we'll see how this goes, right? Absolutely. So let's talk about a couple of things that I think are important when it comes to this. And we're talking, Cheryl over on YouTube, she says diversification is survival today. So let's talk about that briefly before I wrap it up. Because see, I'm going into an hour. I knew I was going to do more than 30 minutes. So listen, diversification is going to be key. I just sat here and I told you all, if you've been here, that I am on more than 3, but I'm monetized on 3 platforms. 2 of my pages are monetized on 1. 100%. Okay. That's number 1. Number 2, I am a part of TikTok Shop affiliate program. And I do have a TikTok Shop. I just decided not to sell anything. I was like, nah, this ain't going, I ain't gonna be able to keep up. And I figured that out really early because I was selling brownstone blends and my cookbooks. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna keep up. I know, Suma Joe, right? Pretty sad we're counting on China to protect us from our own government on this app. It's terrible. But yeah, today is the last day. And I mean, TikTok Live Fest 2. You know what, Alan? I'm not sure because this is my first day back. I haven't been going live. I did see it pop up when I tried to go live though. But here's what I'll say. I'll say this. Diversification, just like Cheryl said, is absolutely key. Like I said, I've monetized myself in several different ways. We all know that the culture in which we currently live with social media is absolutely last day for TikTok. Today is the deadline. Hi, Nikki. Yeah, today is the deadline. And we're just talking about like, there has to be another executive order put in place because the deal was not made. And the thing is China said, we don't know nothing about that. That's what they said. Yes, girl, Nikki. That's what I said. What? Yes. So I'm going to say this. Find ways to monetize yourself outside of TikTok. If you are generating revenue, and these are important conversations that need to be had, folks. Okay. Because number one, whether I'm on Facebook or Meta, I'm just going to call it Meta, whether I'm on Meta generating revenue, well, it wasn't that he lied. They haven't come to a deal. And China said, I don't know what they talking about. So that part he did. He told a tale, a tall one. Mm-hmm. So if you are only monetized on TikTok, now's a good time. If you haven't already done that, you need to be over on Meta. Can I keep it 100 with you all? Meta pays way more. Way more. Listen. Yeah. Way more. Yep. And a lot of people are like, I'm not going over to Meta, so forth, so on. Something's different over at Meta. Yes, they do. Devon, they pay way more. Mm-hmm. They do. And it's becoming very TikTok-like. Meta? No, that's Facebook. And the cool thing about Facebook that I really like is the multiple ways in which you can generate revenue. You can see it every day. So like I can monetize my stories, I can monetize my text, I can monetize images, I can monetize my lives, subscriptions. I've got a store over there, all the things. And not only is my personal Facebook page monetized, but I also have another one that is monetized as well. Yeah, no, I used to really like my son really liked the gamer program. Facebook. Alan, it's Facebook. Mm-hmm. And then here's the other thing. Threads is now monetizable, which is their version of X or Twitter. And then, of course, you all know the big dog on campus is YouTube. I'm not saying that you need, again, like Cheryl's saying, diversification is key. How many ways can you monetize monetize you? Because can we go here, folks? You are the brand. By my name. On YouTube, I am Brownstone Worldwide. You are the brand. Brownstone Worldwide is me. That's it. I just gave it a name because that was the kind of apartment that I grew up in when I was a kid. It was a brownstone. With AI, have you considered watermarks for your content? Yes, I have, Cheryl. I'm working on that now. But that can be removed as well. Here's what I will tell you is that big shout out to all of you guys who saw other people. YMD Records is you, LLC is you. Okay, well, Devon, I'll be looking for you. Yeah, so pay attention to this now. Here's something else. It is going to be imperative that you learn everything that you can about each one of these platforms because they all operate so differently. But do not relegate yourself to just one platform. I know a lot of people come here. I really enjoy TikTok a lot. But let me tell you something. I am really starting to like Meta as well. Number one, because it started out as just a place that me and my family could get together and stay connected. Do you know what I mean? But now it's totally different. Here's another one that people don't pay attention to, but you should, is Bigo. Oh, yes. BIGO is a big one. And it's Chinese owned. And I started on Bigo before I even thought about a TikTok. I was on Facebook and Instagram first. Then somebody told me about Bigo and they said, oh, well, I'm making $30,000 a month and so forth. And I was like, oh, let me go check this out and see what this is. See if I can make me some extra money. And did. And did. Yeah. I'm still over there now. But they're very, very strict. I remember one time I got banned for like 3 weeks because I scratched up under my shirt. So like you literally, I don't know if it's that strict anymore, but there are people that are headed back over there because it's very, very, very similar to TikTok in terms of their live streaming. Kim says she need to get with it, man. Yeah. And then let's not forget Whatnot. Now, Whatnot, you can do selling. You can just go live on there. You can have your products there for sale, all of that. And everybody is trying to compete, everyone. And then, like I said, eBay. Y'all, listen, when I tell y'all I make money in different ways so I can pay these bills, I literally sell on eBay, Walmart, Amazon. And I went on eBay the other day and I have a go live feature. What? eBay? First of all, you late to the game, bro. You should have been a part of it. This pullover is so old, y'all. It's ridiculous. It's just falling apart, but I just love it. We just gonna sew it back on. But yeah, eBay has a live feature. You could go live on eBay. Now, how well it's going to do, knowing that they late in the game, and a lot of times you think you're gonna be you think you're the only game in town. You're not. Oh, but wait, there's more. So now that you know that you're the brand, pause. Yeah, Devon. So now that you know that you're the brand, check this out before I leave because it's getting ready to be an hour. I got a meeting with a client. There are other ways to generate the revenue. Yep. Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, Whatnot. Yep. Of course, Riot. Of course. That's what we do here in the neighborhood. You better ask these people in here how we do. Listen. Yes, Cheryl. eBay. Yes. You can there's so many different ways to generate revenue. Are you an Amazon influencer? Let's keep it 100 today. Okay? Because what happens if the lights go out in Georgia tonight on TikTok? You feel me? What are you gonna do if this is your only way to generate revenue? Let's have that conversation. Okay, Michael, it was good to see you. You got to figure something out. And at least I hope that you already started doing that. So in the meantime, what you do is you say, okay, because this is something I started doing when I first started hearing inklings that it was going to go dark the first time. I was like, all right, let me go ahead and start working on my YouTube, And like I said, I just found out I'm 100% monetized over there. Blew me out the water. I didn't know it. Not paying attention. So what do I do now? Run reports every day. I focus on my physical business, Brownstone Worldwide. I focus on the fact I have a studio. I focus on the fact that I have clients. Well, then, Devon, it's time to rock and roll, bro. Yeah. And they've lowered the threshold. I think you have to have like 4,000 hours of views or something. And then over 1,000 followers. Yeah. And I've been on YouTube, I know 9 years. And I didn't take it serious. Yeah. And it takes time, I won't lie. But once you get over there and you get a rhythm and you start flowing, listen. So it can be done. It can absolutely be done. I'm just saying, for us, we have to figure out other ways of bringing in the revenue because times are changing and we have to make sure that we are able to roll with it. I'm going to tell you something. We're also noticing and witnessing a lot of people who are being removed from their long-standing jobs and work opportunities that are never going to go back to their regular way of work. AI is a part of that. Downsizing, helping people save, because see, AI is going to help companies save money. How are they going to do that? Because a lot of these, I used to be a data entry operator. Do you think these companies would need me right now and I got AI? Absolutely not. Unless, of course, they like giving away $4,000 or $5,000 a month maximum. as opposed to paying $200 or maybe $300 a month for an AI application to do the same thing that I can do. So a lot of people who don't have a secured skill set are going to find themselves in precarious situations. Oh, of course, Cheryl, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. So remember this, remember these conversations, and I probably need to start talking about that a little bit more. Let's talk about UGC. How many of y'all are, so true story. Okay, so I cut commercials as well. I had to, so I could keep my house. I was like, oh, Lord, I need to do something. So I started doing UGC on the side. And I was using like Upwork. I was using Fiverr. I was using Reddit. And I would go there and I would find gigs. And some of these gigs are doing really, really well for some of these companies that I've done commercials for. There's one in particular, whenever people see me out in public, you that lady from such and such and such. That tells me that whatever I did is generating a hell of a lot of money for that company. So I've been able to change my rate. And guess what else? We represent other people too. That's how I ended up with Stoop House Studios. Are you following where I'm going with this? I'm not telling you you need to be like me, but you better figure out how to get multiple streams of income. I don't care if you sell on eBay and make an extra $400 or $500 a month, or even an extra $100. You are like that wise, cool Tia. Oh, and I'm still trying to accept that. Lyrics with peace in mind. Yeah, get out here and get these coins the best way you know how. Do you want to cook? Oh, and then they send you these cool. They send you these cool. I got to cut 3 commercials today. It ain't gonna take me long. Yes, times is hard out here in these streets. You made a puppet. Then you should make skits. You know what I mean? And I'm going to end with this. Country Wayne. If you have not seen the YouTube interview with Country Wayne and Shannon Sharp, you need to go watch it. Orange Rocks. You know you're going to have to inbox me there so I can check out Orange Rockstar, right? He needs his own YouTube channel with merch and all the things. So, Country Wayne. I don't know how many of you all remember him when he first started. He's a local guy to the Atlanta area. And he started doing these skits, him and his brother. And then he Big Nisha, just take it one step at a time. I read this stuff like it's lunch. Because it's important for us to know. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because we don't know what these people are going to do. And I wished I would have a group of people that got voted in to be in the best interest for the American people, make a decision on whether or not I get to feed my family, because y'all couldn't get your hands greased. I don't know if any one of you all watched those hearings, but one of the congressmen literally said, "Where's my cut?" And I knew then it wasn't even a Freudian slip. He had no business saying it. So anyway, we're in this place where you have to learn as much as you possibly can about how to make these your revenue work for you. So my dad, who loves to read the Bible, showed me a scripture in the book of Ecclesiastes where it literally says you should have 7, no 8 streams of income, basically is what it was saying, because you never know which one is going to falter. So do you have your 401k? Do you have your Roth IRA? Do you have your savings account? Do you have an emergency backup? Do you have, because you can't do everything, right? Because you're just one person, right? But if you know that you have different ways of generating revenue, like I just sat here and told y'all how we do it, you won't be breathing heavy at the end of the month. because you'll have things taken care of. And then, I've got other ways, right? So I still get royalty checks. So when my royalty checks come every 4 months, I take a chunk of that and I immediately pay up mortgages. Because I have to. Because you just don't ever know. Because one royalty check might be a couple of G's. The next one might be a couple of hundred. You know what I mean? Because it's not like it used to be back in the 90s when we were getting them. It's much, much different. So I always have to kind of prepare for that. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So knowing this, here's at the end of the day, the reason why it's important for us to know this is, number one, where to find each other. Okay. You should be able to find us in the neighborhood. Okay. In the brownstone. The second thing is prepare now, because as live and sales and all of this stuff continues to change, we don't know who the big dog is going to be. And you don't ever want your income to be relegated to just one stream that you don't even own. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Listen, y'all come back this evening. We're going to do this again. And tonight I will probably start picking up and doing some more news. I'm going to take this slow because I'm a talker. Okay. But come back and hang out with me. Let me look at my schedule because I put myself on the schedule too, y'all. I'm supposed to come back. Hey, K-Shine. Hey, how you doing? I'm supposed to come back tonight at... I had to put myself on a schedule for real. All right, 6:30, 9:30, 11:30, 2:30. Nope, I'm in a meeting at that time. Primary. Okay, so my live block is from 7:30 to 8:15. However, I'm gonna have to push it back. So it's called The Night Shift, Love, Live, Breathe, Evening Live. We're gonna reflect on the day's themes. I'm reading my own notes. Engage community comments. We're probably going to do like a little light, hey, did you see whatever, and we're going to recap what we talked about today. Okay, that's number one, and then any breaking news that we might have missed that I might not get an opportunity. Thank you so much for that, Chucho. Yeah, so there's that, and thank you so much for popping in and saying, hey, y'all. Like I said, I'm going to take my time, but we're going to get back into it. Slowly but surely. And I want to thank each and every one of you all for continuing to stay connected. Love y'all too. And yes, set up a notification or something so you'll know, because I don't know how to do it on my end. But listen, make sure that if you are not in, I have like a little chat or something, go get this month's magazine and check it out. I'm on the cover. The link is in there. Just tap on it. And the live link, not the live link, but the digital link for the magazine will come up. Okay. All right, folks. 3 things that we always like to say before we end every single one. 1, love your life. It's the only one that you have. 2, live your life to the fullest. And 3, and embrace everything that is your life, because you only get one life. See, that's how rusty I am. And then 3, breathe through every single moment. We'll see you around.